Hi all, as a beginner's guide to the Pet Battle add-on Rematch. This is replacement UI for the Pet Journal, which allows saving of teams, many different search options, and the ability to queue a pet for leveling. Once you've installed the add-on, log in, and then click Collections, and then click on the Pet Journal tab at the bottom of your screen. Rematch will replace your Pet Journal, and it will open once you click it. In the left hand pane is where all the pets are, and the centre panel is for the currently selected pets. The right hand pane is for your saved teams. I will show you how to do this a little later in the video. You can have multiple tabs of pets. You can add them using the plus button. These allow you to section your pets off into, say, zones or continents, or even for dungeons such as the Wailing Caverns. Again, I will show you how to add these a little later in the video. Back over on the left hand panel there's a little drop down menu which allows you to see pet breeds and do simple searches. Here you can select whichever pets you want to see by themselves. So say if you want to see mechanical pets, all the ones you own, you would click on the little mechanical icon. Now another feature is to see which pets you're strong against. So you can select whichever one you want to see which of your mechanical pets is tough against, say, humanoids. There we go. That has a bonus damage ability against humanoids, Rabbit Strike. Now say if we wanted to check which mechanical pets we had that were good against Dragonkin, we would deselect the humanoid one and select the Dragonkin. Now this would give a list of mechanical pets with bonus damage abilities against Dragonkin. Ones that you don't own will be greyed out. That was just a brief look at the search utility that Rematch offers. I'll go into a little deeper later in the video. Now before we move on to the options, let's fill up our leveling queue. To do this, click on the Queue tab. This is in the bottom right hand corner. Then click on the Queue tab at the top of the pane, and then to Fill Queue. Then click Yes. This will fill up your queue with a bunch of your random low level pets. Click on Queue again. Now here you can sort your pets into whichever order you want. So descending order, or ascending order, puts all your lowest pets at the top. Or you can sort by rarity. Okay, so now let's get into the options. Click the Options tab in the lower right hand corner. You will be presented with a screen that looks a bit like this. Don't worry, we're going to section it off. Click on All Options, so it shrinks the Options tab all down to 1. And then we'll go through them one by one. First up is Targeting Options. All we want in this tab is Auto Load. All this does is when you click on a Pet Battle trainer that you've got a saved team for, it will automatically load that team. And also click Show Uninjured. This will just bring up a mini Rematch pane, informing you that one of your pets is injured and gives you the option to heal it before starting the battle. The next options are Preferred Window Mode. This is just for when you target a team and your pets need healing. It'll pop up a tiny little window that's minimised, or a full screen if you go maximised, or you can just have it loading your pet journal. I just leave this one as minimised. Okay, next up is a standalone window option. You've got Anchors, which put it apart of the screen, but this only works if this mini-map icon. So say if you want to minimise it, you go to there. You want to minimise it that way, you go down to there and do all that. But I prefer using the full mode, so that doesn't really apply. You can also use custom scaling so that you can make it as big or as little as you like. Again, I'll just keep it the way it is, so I'm quite happy. And again, I'm just going to bring up the big window. The other options don't really matter, so just leave them how they are. Next up, we've got Appearance options. Here all we really need to do is use colour pet names by rarity, and that'll put them all into whichever group they belong to. So blue is rare, grey is poor, white is common, and green is uncommon. Next up is toolbar options. Here we just want a safari hat reminder. This is so if you have the safari hat and you don't have it equipped, it'll bring up a reminder saying to put it on. Our next one is Pet Cards and Notes options. Here just select Show Notes in Battle option. This is so you can write down or import notes to help you whilst you're pet battling. I will show you how to create these notes a little later in the video. Next up is team options. Here you can just leave all these blank. Just have a flick through them and see if there's any that apply to you, but you don't really need them ones. Next one is the leveling queue. Here if you click on double click to send to top, this is for your queue, so if you wanted to send a pet to the top that isn't currently there, just double click and it'll send it right to the top for you. Also, hide pet level and toast. So whenever you're leveling a pet and you get a notification, I'll just hide that from the screen. And whenever you collect new pets, it'll automatically add them to your queue. Pet level and filters and confirmation options you don't really need to bother with. And finally, miscellaneous options. Disable sharing. This stops people sending you stuff and it automatically importing. You can use the minimap icon. This will put it on your minimap, obviously, and then you get the standalone version of Rematch. I don't really bother with that too much. And no summon on double click. This is just whenever you double click a pet, it will automatically summon it. Sometimes you don't want that. Say if you're using the level and queue option and you want to double click it to move to the top, that would summon it instead, so we'll click that and leave that there. And that is it for the options. Now let's talk about creating tabs. Instead of having one giant list of all of our pet battles, we can separate them into tabs. If you'd like to see these tabs on the right hand side all the time, go into options and then go up to team options and then select always show tabs. Now let's create one. Click on the plus icon, give it a name. I'm going to name this one Family Familiar because the pet battle team that I'm going to import is part of the Family Familiar achievement. Give it an icon that you remember and then click save. And there's our new tab created. So now we want to import our rematch string. If you don't know what these are, it's the long line of text and numbers that I usually post in my descriptions. Click on the Teams tab in the top right hand corner and go down to import teams. Select whichever tab you want the team to be imported to. As the team I've chosen is part of the Family Familiar achievement, I'm going to put it into the Family Familiar tab that we just created. And then copy and paste the code into the box provided. This will then show you the team. Now just click save and there's your team imported. Rematch also comes with a feature that allows you to write down notes or show notes whilst you're pet battling. To show these, right click the team that you want the notes to show for and then click set notes. This will then show the notes screen. This works like any basic text editor. Sometimes rematch strings already have notes in them, so they will automatically appear here. To add notes, just start typing or copy and paste strategies off the internet. So if we want to record our own notes, in this case I've picked the Blotters fight where you just use Black Claw followed by Hunting Party. So we just type this in the notes and then click save. Now, say if we wanted these notes to appear every time we had a pet battle. Go into our options. Now go up to the pet cards and notes options and select show notes in battle. This will now show any notes available for the pet battle teams you have saved. Okay, let's talk about creating your own teams. So if you found a strategy on the internet but there isn't a rematch string for it and you need to create it yourself, pick out all the pets that are required and the appropriate abilities. If one of the slots is needed for a leveling pet, just right click this slot and select put leveling pet here. Now click save as, click on target and then look for the pet tamer, whichever one you're making a team for. In this case it was Sussex on the Broken Shore. This will automatically give it a name and then just click save. Now on some of these fight, your leveling pet needs to be of a certain level or have a certain amount of HP. So right click the team and select leveling preferences. Here you can set maximum health, minimum level, minimum health or maximum level. As our pet was likely to take a hit in this fight, we're going to set the minimum level at 10. When you finish setting your leveling preferences, simply click save to store these. Once you've created a team and auto load is on, whenever you hover over that pet tamer, the team will be automatically loaded. So how do you make your own strategies, I hear you ask? So first off, we need to find something we want to fight against. So click Save As, and pick a target. Any target. Let's pick a team that I don't have. So let's say, I don't know, does Riga. Okay, let's see what he has. He's an aquatic, so he takes extra damage from flying. So we probably want to use the flying pet. He does extra damage to magic, takes less damage, it does less damage to undead, whirlpool, hits for quite a lot, does extra damage to elemental, does less damage to magic, and he has healing wave. So we want a flying pet that's strong against aqua, and we want to be able to dodge that whirlpool. So type in dodge, and then we get all the pets with a dodge. And as most people have a claw hatch, then we'll put that one in. We don't really want to use nature ward because he does extra damage against elemental, so we probably just want to take that one. Save. And then as backup, we probably just want some more of the same. So Alpha Strike, dodge, or lift off, and we just put them in. Make sure we have the right abilities against them. Maybe a heal would be nice. And that's it. And then that's the basic setup of a strategy. So let's test this strategy out. My plan is to keep dodge for when whirlpool is about to hit, when it has one round left, and you just use Alpha Strike in between. So there's whirlpool. We need to wait for it to have one round remaining before we can use dodge. Now that it has one round remaining, cast dodge. And now I'll continue to Alpha Strike until my claw is defeated. Now that it's defeated, I'll bring in one of my backup pets and continue with the same thing, Alpha Strike, and then use lift off when whirlpool is about to hit. This isn't the great strategy, and I'm sure there's better out there, but for something that was just a quick mock-up strategy, it worked pretty well. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.